Hello, welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Dog Collared, and with me today is my fellow dog, well actually it's kind of a dog, Fox in a Fix. So it's Fox, say hi.
Hi guys, it's Fox in a Fix, and I really like the intro music for this one. It's a great tune called Fiddle Dee Dee.
Ooh, Fiddle-dee-dee, what a wonderful trivia you've just given. Sorry, I had to do that. Let's get underway with just a few bits of information. So, first of all, yes, it's Dog Collared, released on the 2nd of December 1950. It had a blue ribbon reissue in 1959. It's the 606th in the series, and it's directed by Bob McKimson. You can find this on the Porky Pig Superstars DVD set and in high definition on HBO Max. Now, I can't show you the full cartoon here due to copyright, so I'll give you a synopsis in case you haven't seen it. So it is Be Kind to Animals Week, and Porky Pig gives kind to all the animals he sees. But when he shows affection to a really large dog, the dog ends up following Porky everywhere to amusing results. With the trivia, not really much to say. As per the animator draft, the original title was Man's Pest Friend, which I think is pretty clever.
Meh.
Yeah, I like it. It's alright. Oh, and in the background, because the background artist is Richard Thomas, there's a place that says Thomas's in the background, so that could be him. I don't know. But I didn't think it was that important to point out, but
Well, if he was the one who drew the background, I think it's supposed to be his name, but I don't know, it's kind of a general name.
Yeah, so put that one in the maybe pile. Right, with Dog Collared, if I'm going to be honest, this one is definitely middle of the road for me. I didn't hate it, but it didn't stand out because I'd seen this before, but I completely forgot about it until I rewatched it. I was like, oh, it's this one. Okay. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely the definition of middle of the road. Although it was censored in some places, there's two unfortunate stereotypes. When Porky dresses up like someone else, he dresses up like a Native American and a Asian stereotype. So I think because of those problems, this short isn't on HBO Max in the US, but it is on HBO Max in Latin America. So I think that's where this print comes from.
Ah, yes, where it seems to be more acceptable to have stereotypes in it because I think
I
there was,
guess.
yeah, I mean, because they also have China Jones, and that's got an Asian stereotype, so, you know,
Oh, right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they
so
do
it's,
have a few problematic shorts, at least with problematic parts in
yeah,
it.
so thank you, Latin America, or Viva Latin America. I don't know. Whatever it is, thank you. At least we got some extra restored shorts, even if they're
Yes,
problematic.
yes.
Looking at the short itself, I do love the design of that cat in the beginning. It's just your
Yeah.
typical McKimson cat of this period. I love it. I don't know.
There's a lot of really fun looking side characters. McKimson does a very good job on this cat at the beginning. There's a small dog near the end, and there's a very funny little old man that's running away from Porky with a
Ah,
beard.
yes, and and he's doing the whole sped up voice when he's complaining and continues limping. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but anyway, I love Porky's guilt towards the dog. Just Porky's expressions where he's like, "Oh, great, I've already broken my Be Kind to Animals Week pledge I just did at the beginning of the short. Fine, I'll play with you, Mr. Dog." But it's such great animation in this one, and if you look at the list of animators, it's a
Yeah.
solid cast.
I don't think the dog was named, but I like how he sometimes takes up half the screen. And
Yes.
also, I like the use of the colors in this because Porky looks really good in green. Usually, he wears blue, I think.
Yeah.
He did wear green in his first appearance. I haven't got a hat though.
Got back to basics, I guess. Maybe he's being nostalgic for when he was in school. I don't know.
Yeah, that must be it. And also, I can't believe at one point he actually smacks the heck out of the dog on Be Kind to Animals Week.
Yeah, that was a bit like, I was like, whoa, dude, I mean, I'm not even that much of a dog person, but hey, even I'm looking at going, come on, you can't smack a dog. That's a bit
No,
much.
Porky's kind of a jerk in this one. He also causes a giant traffic crash as he takes off in his little car,
Yeah.
which is hilarious, but also very unexpected for him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's driving a car, which even at the point of the production for this short, which would have been late 1949, early 1950, that car is old even for that short. So he must be a cheapskate as well. Which, to be honest, that actually helps with the fact later on he's actually motivated by greed. I mean, spoiler alert to everyone, there are two twists in this short, which makes this at least a little bit better than your average short that you'll find around this time. So the first twist, of course, is that this dog is actually, there's a reward. and it's from a rich family.
What? And also
What?
another twist for me is that he drives such a cheap car, but he has a television at home in the 40s.
Ah, good point. Yes, yes, that's actually a very good point. I didn't realize that. That's actually very good. So, what can I say? I mean, then again, a lot of people these days, they might buy a massive 85-inch TV, but then drive an ordinary car. Me. But anyway, but that particular twist, doesn't that make this short maybe more suitable for Daffy to star in it? At least the Daffy of this period? I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it starts out very true to Porky's character with the part where he's being nice to animals that are not nice to him, and him being modest and insecure and having that kind of character traits. When the plot twist comes, up to that point, it's just a chase portion, and that's a lot of fluff to me. But then, when the plot gets thicker, the dog is worth a lot of money. He's suddenly driven by money, and that's not how I know Porky at all. But all right, we'll go with it. But indeed, that should be more of a Daffy Duck story point, or maybe even Bugs Bunny.
And the other twist, of course, is that this dog is a talking dog. I mean, that was very weird twist, I would think. But
It was so unnecessary but so funny. I
yeah,
think it's the last 5 or 6 seconds that we find out he's a talking dog, and I think that's a great way to end this cartoon.
I agree. I agree. Now, you wanted to mention something regarding McKimson and Porky in this one?
Yeah, so this is one of Porky's last solo shorts. I think it's a remarkable thing. And you gotta ask yourself if they stopped making shorts starring Porky as a solo star after Schlesinger passed away in 49, since it is often said that he was very fond of Porky. But on the other hand, this cartoon shows us there's not much left to do with Porky when he's on his own. He's mainly just dealing with pests until Chuck Jones gave him a new purpose later on, and his creative feeling kind of forgets about him too within a few years.
Yeah.
So I think if it wasn't for Chuck reusing Porky as Daffy's little helper, we may not have had such a prominent spot for him in the franchise. McKimson and Art Davis had a really good capture of Porky. His insecurities and modesty are on point with these shorts. Although I really like the pairings with Daffy that McKimson did a lot more. Those are among the most likable shorts for me.
Yeah, McKimson does a lot of great pairings with Porky and Daffy as well. So they're just made for each other. It's such a great team, starting all the way back from the Clampett years, where they were paired up for the first time, and all the way up until, I think, Corner of the Cop is the last one the two were paired up, and that's into Paddy Freely. So, that's shows longevity of the two characters.
Porky is kind of a straight man in this short, and later on he will be paired with Daffy Duck. The straight man role goes to Elmer Fudd later on, it seems, dealing with pests and such, but that's not as interesting. I do like these pedestrian scenarios. It's not too out there. It's silly enough, and it seems like Porky is the only character that is genuinely so endearing of all the Looney Tunes characters. All of the others are complete jerks 99% of the time, but on the other hand, how nice of a person is Porky here anyway? He's only nice to the dog because of the reward money.
Yeah. No, I agree. And, in fact, the funny thing about this short, you could actually replace Porky with Bugs, and this could have been easily one of Bugs's shorts that McKimson did, during his so-called, plump Bugs period. It's
Yeah, he was a little sassy as well.
yeah, exactly. But it is what it is, Porky's in it, and I know our good friend Manny Cruz loves Porky, so I guess he probably loves this short. And now, as an added bonus, my good friend S.C. MacPeter is going to give his thoughts on this short as well.
Hi, this is SC again. I'm here for Dog Collared, a very strange McKimson cartoon where he is trying to give a bit more life into Porky by having, I guess, sign of a new character, but I think this was just supposed to be a one-off, of course, but McKimson was always willing to try, I guess, more different ideas than Jones and Freeling, where they, of course, did their one-shots and they would create new characters, but in those regards, they always made sure that the idea was well executed. McKimson was a bit more off the cuff. Not all of his ideas worked the best, but in that case, they come off a bit more interesting, like Schmo Crow. Remember Corn Plastered? With that crow? But this is about Dog Collar. There's some great animation that's like, of course, everyone here will probably think of the car shop, but there's also some great character animation, like especially at the end where the dog goes, "You got yourself a deal, bub." It is a really good McKimson cartoon, but it does show his reliance towards having the animators do their work rather than trying to make it, I guess, funny, because it really does feel like a lot of this is just exercise for good quality animation rather than just making an all-around good cartoon. That's going to become an issue later on after the shutdown when McKimson is given a lower budget and has to change up his entire cast. Nonetheless, I find McKimson's cartoons around this period to be quite entertaining, especially this one. Even though this one, of course, isn't his best, and not really one of the best of this year, it does have its moments, and of course, it does entertain for the one reel that it has. While this is one of the last Porky's where he is the star rather than having to co-star with Daffy or Sylvester, it does provide with good entertainment and does at least still have life with Porky being the central character rather than just shelving him off and having, I guess, a different subplot take over. But it is interesting to see how these guys would try to keep using the straight man character as the star when that was being out of favor for characters like, of course, Bugs and Daffy, but also different straight men that had a bit more personality. They were a bit more brash. They weren't as cute and squiggly as Porky. But there was a spot for Porky, of course, in just being the sidekick. And I really do enjoy seeing these later Porkies because they really do. They kind of have an awareness that they've done all they can, but they still have good ideas when they do, like this one. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Apologies if it's a bit rambly. Yeah. See ya.
I think if McKimson made this short after the 55-56 release year, it would be 10 times more forgettable than it already is.
For sure, I agree. Because this one, look, I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10, and it's run of the mill, but it is a little bit higher because I do like those twists that happen in this short, which makes it at least different, makes it more interesting. But otherwise, it's run of the mill. It's okay. It's not a highlight for me.
Yeah, 7.5 would be right for me. I think the chase part is really just kind of fluff, but the first 2 minutes really stand out to me, and the final line is so strong. I think it's up there with a 7.5 out of 10.
Yep, I agree. So that'll do it for this one. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
That's silly. If he could talk, I'd keep him myself.
Well, fat boy, you got yourself a dog.